Got 15 minutes? Perfect. Let's strengthen and tone your upper body with this quick, effective workout designed for busy women just like you. Today is session number 10, and we're going to start off with some lighter weights and move into some heavier weights as the session progresses. So get yourself ready and let's get into it. As usual with these sessions, we're going to start with a couple of exercises just to get you warmed up. Arms stretched out nice and wide away from the body, fingertips as far as you can, and we're going to do some little arm circles. So just warming up through those arms, just a small little circle here, drawn with your fingertips, just working in one direction. Doesn't matter which direction, just any direction, forwards or back. Well done. Keep it going, and we're about to change that direction. So if you're going forwards now, then I want you to start to go in the opposite direction, go backwards. If you started backwards, then just go forwards. Perfect. There's no tripping up here. It's not a test. It doesn't matter whether you went forwards or backwards. We're just keeping those arms up just to get that blood flow into the shoulders, into the arms. Prepare yourself for this workout today. Well done, almost there, and take a little rest. Fantastic. Next, use a raised surface or a wall, not down onto the mat, and we're gonna do a little press to shoulder tap. So if you're using a wall like me, we're gonna press towards the wall, and then we're gonna tap, tap on the opposite shoulder, press and tap, tap. Exactly the same if you're working on your raised surface. So let's give it a go. Again, it's just to warm up. We're just getting that chest and those shoulders primed and ready, getting the core switched on. So important that any exercise program that we do, we are making sure that the core is also switched on, because that is what gives you the ability to stay upright. That is your strong center. Good job. So hold in tight to those tummy muscles. Press, get that chest as close to your wall or raised surface as you can, and take a rest. Brilliant work. Now we're gonna jump in straight away with the weights. We're gonna start off the first few exercises with a lighter set, and then we'll move into a heavier set. So I'm gonna start off with my 3 kilos here for my lighter set. Palms are facing out, and we're gonna do our arm arcs. So drawing 2 semicircles with the arms meeting at the top, coming back down to the bottom, not clashing those weights together, keeping nice and strong through the core, really precise and focused as we work here. Well done, good job. So your light weights here might be 1 kilo, they might be 3 kilo, something in between. Okay, whatever they are, just working nice and focused, slow, strong movements. Really confident with the weights. Well done, good job. Almost there. Lovely. And take your rest. Fantastic. Next up, we're going to do some tricep flutters. We're going to do that with one weight, your lighter weight, still just one of them. So bringing the weight behind you, cradling it into your 2 hands, and then we're going to come into our bent over position. So hinge those hips back, back nice and straight, and we're just going to push, 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 push with the weight. Now, if you find that this is really, really tricky with the weight, or maybe the weight that you have just doesn't feel right here, then you can go weight-free here. You're gonna be able to go a little faster with your pulses if you are weight-free. But if you are using the weight or with the weight-free, just making sure that it's a really small movement. So you shouldn't be pushing the arms up too high at the back, and they shouldn't be coming past the hip line. So just pushing, 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 small little movement. Well done. Is it starting to burn yet? This is a real burner. Good job. Almost there. 2, 1. Fantastic. So bring that weight back round safely. We're going to do a front raise next with a face pull. The face pull is optional. You don't have to do it. But again, with your lighter weights, you're going to have your palms facing your body, so knuckles facing out. You're going to bring the weights up to shoulder height, in towards the ears, out and down. Let's go. Up, in, out, down. Now this one really takes a lot of core control, because you're using those weights away from the body, pulling them in, pushing them out again, coming back down, all with no movement through your midsection, okay? So what you could do is try and bring your hips up and push your head out, okay? But actually what you're doing is staying really strong, really controlled, and that is helping with that core control, building so much more strength than just into the arms and shoulders. Well done. Take a little rest. Fantastic. Okay, half scarecrows next, and these are really tricky. We're going to still stay on the light weights with these, but it's our last exercise with these lighter weights. So coming up, bringing the palms facing out here, elbows at a 90-degree bend, and we're going to just rotate the arms so that palms are facing the floor and come back up. Half scarecrow, really tricky, very, very small movement here. Again, you want to be keeping that midsection of your body really strong and straight, trying not to clench through the jaw, trying not to have any tension through that neck, which I know is really, really tough, especially when you start to have an exercise like this that is just really intense, okay? But just know that time is gonna tick away. You can see the time on the screen. Well done. Breathe it through, tighten up into those tummy muscles. You've got this now, you have. You're almost there, well done. Take a little rest, fantastic. We're gonna work into a heavier set of weights here now, and we're gonna work into a bicep curl. So this is a movement that you'll do in life a lot, this sort of bicep curl move. We're gonna break it down into 2 moves. So the first part we're gonna do for this first exercise is we're gonna bicep curl halfway, and that's it. So join me now just as a halfway. Elbows are tucked in super tight here, and we're just curling from the bottom position just to that right angle position here. So just half a curl. Okay, nice and easy, nice and pacey here, not too fast, really thinking about that position so you're not accidentally coming up a little higher. Okay, it's meant to feel like you're only coming up just a short way. Well done. Keep it going. Keep that pace nice and slow. Good. And take a rest. Fantastic. For the next part of this exercise, you're going to stay with the same weights. I'm just going to demo on one hand here. You're going to go from halfway to all the way. Halfway, all the way. Okay, so you're going to do that 2-handed bicep curl. Again, same thing, but we're gonna just finish off that movement. So we're gonna start halfway, come to the top, back to half, up to the top. Good. Now I've seen so many people do this exercise, and what happens as you get more tired or you lose your focus is you start to bring those weights down more than halfway. You're starting to let the weights control that movement. But you know, I'm telling you about it now. So what you can do is really make sure that you are on point with that move and you are keeping your arms nice and tight. You're controlling that movement. You're only coming down to halfway. Well done. Good job. Take a rest. Okay, we're going to keep one of the weights. One goes away for now. And we're going to do a single arm row. Now we've done this before. So we're going to bend over and have our weight distributed down through the hips, but on through the back leg and through the front foot. We're not leaning over that front foot, okay? So let's row up to the shoulder and back down. So I like to think about this as getting that dumbbell up to your armpit, okay? So a nice straight line down here from the shoulder, elbow, and wrist, and just rowing straight up, coming back down. So we're not bringing the elbow out to the side, okay? Just up, straight up to the chest and into the armpit and back down. Neck is nice and long here, okay? So not looking up or too far down. Nice long neck. Good job. 3, 2, 1, and let's take a little rest. We're gonna switch sides. Okay, so exactly the same thing, exactly the same. So we're gonna be stretching that leg out, dropping that weight down through the hips. Okay, so we're not pushing over that toe. Okay, that's so important. It's the same on our lunges. We don't go through the toe. Let's go. We want to protect those knees, don't we? We need to make sure that they're protected, but not just protected, strengthened, strong, and able to work into these positions. Okay, so you can be as bent over here as you like. You can be really far bent over if you want to. It's totally up to you. But as well as getting a lovely upper body burn here, really working into those glutes as well. So it is a really great full body exercise here. Keep it nice and slow on that row. Well done. 2, 1, fantastic work. Stay with the one weight here. We're gonna do some halos or around the world up at the top here. So weight comes up in front of you around about at the eye gaze height, and then you're gonna bring the weight around your head in one direction and then all the way around in the other. You ready? Let's go. Best not to overthink this one because it looks much more complicated than it is. Once you start going with this exercise, you realize it's all fine. But actually, if you're just watching, you think, how is that happening? How is that even working? All you need to know is that you can do this. Okay, so just bring it around and back around. Now tighten up those tummy muscles, okay? Really root yourself into the ground, push those feet and heels into the floor and feel how your core is really stable, really strong, and you can feel it working every time you twist that dumbbell. Take a rest. Well done. Really good job. One more exercise here until we go into our finisher. That is how quickly we are getting through these sessions at the moment. You're doing so well. We're going to do a hammer curl up to the shoulder, push up overhead, bringing that weight down nice and controlled, and switch sides. So up to the shoulder, push, down, control, and switch. Push. Good job. Nice and slow on that return journey for the weight. It's so important to keep that weight controlled and slow. At no point should that weight be swinging past your center line. Always slow, always controlled, always precise. And that means that your muscles are working exactly as you want them to, which means you are going to build more strength and you are going to tone up those muscles even more if you're using them correctly. Okay, so just think about that as your end goal. Well done, take a little rest. We're gonna go into our finisher here, which is a kneeling finisher. If you don't kneel, don't worry, you can do this standing or you can do it seated instead, but we are gonna go with a kneeling seesaw. The reason that we're gonna do this staggered kneel is it just works into the core a little bit more, just adds a little fuel to your fire. So we're gonna push up, 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 up. So just up and over each time. One comes down, the other comes up, as if your weights are on a pulley system. So push, push, and push. Well done, keep it going. Amazing. Tummy's tight. Keep that balance through those legs. Well done. So we are working just for 40 seconds. We'll take 20 seconds off and then we'll switch legs, but we'll keep going with the arms, okay? So here you are, here's your break. We're gonna switch the legs. You have another few seconds before we get going again, okay? But there's not a lot of time to rest those arms. The core is gonna stay switched on. We've changed sides on the balance, so it's gonna be a little bit iffy as well as your body starts to get used to it. Are you ready? Let's go. This is where it will really start to dig in. It'll really start to bite into those arms. This is why I put this at the finisher. Okay, it's tough, it's gritty, it's burny, but you know, it's worth it. Building that strength, get those muscles exhausted, get them tired. This is how we build strength. Good. We're building resilience, stamina, confidence, all of it here in spades. Keep it going. Good. And take your rest. Fantastic work. We're gonna have a little stretchy cool down now. Just a short cool down. If you want more, I have put on my 8-minute active recovery session in the session description for this video. But just to start with, we're gonna stretch out that chest. So shake hands with yourself at the back and just push out your chest. If your arms are feeling a little wobbly and a little warm and a little shaky, don't worry. That's normal. That's how they should feel at the end of quite an intense session. We built up the weights from the beginning. We focused on some small muscles and then we built up to some bigger muscles. So we used the weights accordingly. The lighter weights for the smaller muscles, the heavier weights for the larger ones. And let's switch to the front, stretch out the back. And by doing that, those muscles had enough resistance, enough tension going through them to make it really work for them. So it never felt easy, hopefully, or too hard. Hopefully we pitched that just right for you today. Well done. Hand comes down, slide down between the shoulder blades and just gently push just above the elbow, not the shoulder, the elbow. Push down, well done. So stretching out through the tricep here. Good job. I always like to have a little walk around in my cool down. Try not to stay still for too long. Just returning that heart rate to normal. Obviously it wasn't a high cardio session, so the heart rate shouldn't be too elevated, but it's just really important to just give your brain and your body a clear signal that that workout is now over. This is now coming back down to resting levels, okay, because your body will respond. Good job. Finally, we're going to do a deltoid stretch, so a shoulder stretch, arm across the chest here, pulling in lightly just above or just below the elbow, but not onto the elbow. And just stretch out through that shoulder. So we're on to session 10. We are into week 4. This is the first of your 3 sessions, 2 to go. And by the end of this, you will have done 4 weeks worth of focused workouts, focused exercise. Okay, whether it's complementing other workouts that you are doing, whether this is the only thing that you're doing, okay, just adding that regularity into your routine is so important. Take your rest. Well done. I hope you've enjoyed this session today. I hope your upper body is singing you a little tune, and I look forward to seeing you at our next session. We're going to be working on the lower body for our second session of this week. If you're enjoying the series, if you're doing the series, if you're here every day, please let me know. Let me know in the comments, even if you're just dipping in, dipping out. I really want to know you're here. I can only know you're here if you send me a comment. So leave me a comment in the comment section for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe. And if you're interested in supporting the channel more directly, you can do that by joining the channel membership. All of the details for that are when you click that join button, or there is a link in the session description. Thank you so much for joining me. See you at the next one. Take care. Bye.